So yeah, as I was saying, they had this like really good system they developed for like blood effects that they wanted to show off. So they made this game that's all about like applying them and unapplying them, and it was just sort of inherently this very dark concept where essentially you are going into what should be the level to some first-person shooter, and they changed this a bit. They used to be like in order of difficulty. Now they're just kind of alphabetical. And I also noticed like there is listed here average length. So it's like an hour 30, an hour 30, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. I think some are 4. They're all basically like pastiches of stuff that you would find in a first-person shooter of some kind, or a horror game, or whatever. There's one that's like nicely lit to show this off.
Well, that's such a good idea, giving cats their own version of your keyboard or book or what have you. I never even thought of that.
And I like how there's a speedrun option, which gives you better feedback on what you're doing. That's kind of nice. But yeah, I'll just do it in the standard mode to show you how that works.
Oh, this looks like it's in the corner of the screen, by the way.
Oh, is it? I will... Is it really? I thought I just fixed that.
Unless that is another just me problem.
That sounds like it wouldn't be. Let me actually load it up first, and then probably switch it back to windowed mode, and then... Yeah, okay, I see the problem here. First, we have this little briefing screen. Blah, blah, blah. Bad things happen here. So, okay. Options. Window that again. Okay. And now, can I really not capture this window? Because that would be ideal. And I find sometimes it like lets me do it if I wait long enough. Yeah, not seeing it. So, time tunnel indeed. Okay, so I guess I will just take this and up the resolution some, or at least just try to, you know, get it. You can see the chat on the side. This is because I can get it right now. But anyway, so yeah, Viscera cleanup detail. The idea is, here I am. I have this mop. I have a cat making noises in the background. Some stuff went down in here. We got some bullets all over the floor. We've got some dead people. We've got this chest that I'm keeping Easter eggs in when I find them. Anything you put in here, you can kind of take out of levels with you, so you want to keep a souvenir. But basically, the first thing you kind of have to do is find yourself a place to get some mop buckets and start cleaning up without making too much mess on the way. So, if I walk through the blood, there will be... Oh, okay. Here we have...
I was about to also call them mop noodles.
Hi. They do look a little fingery, yeah. So, okay, here is the Slosh-O-Matic bucket dispenser, which will give me buckets of water, which I can pick up with, I want to say E? Okay, that's not the button I wanted. That's not the button I wanted. What are the controls? Okay, it's been forever. Controls. Do.
This is called Viscera cleanup detail.
Mm-hmm.
Like on the pause menu there in the top right.
Oh, right. I see the problem here. The problem is I have to actually switch to my hands to do the thing. Silly me.
As I recall, there was also a Shadow Warrior branded version where you're cleaning up all the gore that Lo Wang left behind. And yeah, as far as I'm aware, it is supposed to be the aftermath of like gory video game shootouts and things that you're the one stuck cleaning up.
Okay, there was, I know, a button to like straighten things out in your hands too, which was very handy. Oh well. But anyway, yeah, I picked this bucket here, and... okay, just click again. Right, so this one's kind of useless right now, because I just dumped all the water out of it. But I can go over here at any point and get a brand new, fresh bucket of water. Carefully take it out of here, not knock this one over. Set it gently down on the floor. Get my mop out, and just start cleaning up all this nasty, nasty blood. Which, as I clean it up, my mop will get redder and redder. And eventually, it will hit a point of saturation where, rather than making things cleaner, it will start just making more of a mess. Yeah, like so. Now it's horribly soaked, and if I hit the floor with it, it just makes things worse. So I'll come over here, get my handy dandy fresh bucket of water, and wash it off. And now, of course, if I kick that bucket, then it will make more of a mess. And I'll have to just kind of start that whole process over again. Which you can easily do when you're hitting it with the thing. Meanwhile, what do I have here? I've got, well, I can just use my hands here to, say, pick up these various shell casings on the floor. And, okay, I'm just going to hit 2. Yeah, okay. Grab these one by one. And ideally, I'd throw those away at some point. For now, I got this empty bucket here, so I will just drop a few of these in here.
You can't pick up more than one at a time.
Nope, you can pick up exactly one thing. And now you'll notice there is some good physics as I carry this bucket full of bullets around. But really, I need to find another little destination here before I do anything too major. Because in addition to all the blood on the floor, there's also all these like bits of meat that kind of are making a mess.
I'm not going to ask what kind of normal jobs you've had, Pariah.
And I'm just like very diligently mopping this all up because again, if I don't, when I walk through this, this happens. And then for quite a while, I'm making these horrible bloody footprints. And guess what? If I step through one of those bloody footprints, that makes it even worse. So these are interesting. Little marks on the floor. I've never actually seen this kind before.
Some kind of evil bird did this.
Yeah, kind of looks it.
Or at minimum, some kind of bird anti-hero.
Yep. You know, you can find these little logs that kind of give you the story behind each map, but really I'm just looking for a place where I can find an incinerator to start dragging all these corpses into and get rid of them. Oh, that's a big mess. Okay, it was this big bird robot, gotcha.
Ah.
Oops, which... See, I'm just making things worse. This is why really you want to take your bucket with you. And of course, this will eventually also get like too bloody to use anymore and cause problems. It also might be kicked over by me carelessly. Not picking where I'm going. And if I say grab this little random chunk of meat and just carelessly drop it on the floor, that happens, and it's just a whole mess again. It's pretty. So.
I like the idea a lot of a game that demands simple tasks of you, but then also makes it very easy to make it worse.
Yeah. Okay, so I think I can get through here. Excuse me. I should grab that bucket, because this is being a chore. Yeah, because that bucket's kind of full now, and I guess we'll just have to risk it, because I need to scout around, jump, and hopefully not spread too much blood around. Okay, we got some more giant robots here.
Oh, these levels are huge.
Oh, yeah.
You weren't kidding when you said it takes hours to clear one.
Mm-hmm. So, okay. This is the good place to be. I need to get my bucket back over here.
Is that guy still a bit alive?
No, just there's some fun physics in this game.
Oh, okay.
So, okay. Not really what I was looking, but here's another one of our handy tools. The bin dispenser, where you can get these nice little bins, which are very handy for taking a variety of large objects like this, and very carefully, ideally without knocking your bin over like I just did, and out, take this and gently, there we go, toss that in there, just to save some trips, get us some bulk loads of random bits of, you know, torso and crotch and heads and arms and legs. That'll hold a few. And then I can just pick the whole bin up and carry it around. And if I'm really careful, it won't all spill out on me.
I really appreciate how all the mechanics in this game work basically exactly how you expect them to.
Mm-hmm. Then we got this here lift that controls both on the floor and on top, and will sometimes bug out and stop and then jostle up, and the physics engine is such that if you're holding, you know, like a whole box full of something or a bucket, then when that happens it will go flying everywhere.
Oh, so that's an intended physics mishap.
Oh yeah. You can pick the whole thing up and move it around. And here's another thing. If you look here, we have this label on the floor that says crates. And like in all video games, we have all these crates lying around, which, to properly clean up, I have to take to these designated areas and stack up as nicely as I can within the designated area.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I still need some, like, basic things to really finish here. This, for instance, is a medkit dispenser. I need to go find some of those and stock that back up. But what I really need to find is the actual incinerator, because, oh, nice Terminator skull. Because, you know, all these, like, body parts and stuff kind of have to be burned to properly dispose of them. Screw it, I'll just track a little on the floor. I need to find a thing. And this is also why I don't start with one of the really easy levels, because the really easy levels actually start with all of your basic tools in one place where you're standing, and you don't have to, like, make a horrible mess. I hate how much that's switching. Make a horrible mess looking for them. Whatever. Oh, I hear crackling. Okay, here we go. Here's my special thread. So this is where everything has to go eventually. Well, not everything, but most things. So these horrible robot legs, for instance, we don't want those just lying on the floor. In they go. display models, that's fine. Nice little push broom there. What's this? No, just the... Okay. Oh, okay. Just someone's, like, noted what's going on here. That's... Oh, that's actually interesting. There's some password on this. Maybe I won't just burn that right away.
Seashells reference.
You could look later. This one is being a little bit hard to read. Let's bring it over to light. Okay. I cannot read your handwriting. Oh, well, I'll leave it there for now. So another thing is the final... Well, hang on. I got big chunks to deal with here, and this is close enough that I'm just going to dump it right in. The other major tool I haven't found yet, there's always one every level, is this like big high-powered like laser gun thing, which that's a mess. And it goes. Which can be used on the various bullet holes to repair them, if you're very, very careful. Otherwise, you make them much, much worse. Which again is kind of a theme of the game.
Are you also going to have to laser up these robot footprints?
I think I can probably just scrub them off, but potentially, yeah.
They look like they're indented right into the floor.
Yep. Could be. I haven't seen this little before. And you notice I'm actually tracking blood all over the place, too. But, yeah, so these shotgun shells, in addition to being something I have to dispose of, means if I look around from roughly this position, there should be some blast marks in the wall somewhere. Which I will eventually have to, deal with a tool that I don't have yet. And then, of course, whenever you find a corpse, you find one of these with their little, like, personal information on it that you have to kind of clock out with for a perfect score. Yeah, so there's a nice bit of bullets impacting from somewhere. And there, and... Oh, that's going to be a mess to get. So, yeah, this is, like, basically the game here. Just get your corpses and other just, like, nasty bits that shouldn't be laying around. Throw those out, mop up the floor, dispose of your mop buckets in the incinerator, too. Is there a faster way down to where the mop bucket is up? Seriously. There has to be, right? Like, this is where I came in, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Okay, right here. Cool. So I can take, say, this bucket that is a bit of a horrible mess, and without sloshing it all over the place, by running up these stairs of fame right now, do this at home, kids.
So it'll, like, slosh around if you turn too quickly or stuff?
Oh, yeah. Or if you're, like, really running and you just hit a bump in the floor, it'll all slosh out.
Neat.
So if I was playing for real, I'd be, like, cleaning all this up to make sure there's a nice path between the incinerator and the buckets, because that's, like, a real must. But another thing that happens is sometimes, instead of a bucket... Oops, well, that one's useless. They are, fortunately, nice and stackable. So just to, like, demonstrate my point here. Sometimes, instead of a bucket... do the thing. I kind of love to see this on that Let's Game It Out channel. I think the same thing. I'll use all these eventually. Yeah, oops. Sometimes it will do this and throw some meat on the floor for you, which is then the whole thing you gotta deal with. And if I drop this into this nice clean bucket of water, by the way, this is no longer a nice clean bucket of water. And if I kick it over, yeah, you kind of see how that would be an issue. Like so. And that got into these ones, and it's a whole thing. So I think the only thing I didn't show off is the whole place where you, like, check out the key cards and finding the little zappy gun to patch up the walls. And oh, there's also this in every level. So you can have nice music while you clean. Although it is,
nice.
You'll notice bouncing around. That's not really animation. That's bouncing around. It can kind of like slam into stuff, knock things over, and make a whole problem that way.
That's great.
But anyway, I'm just going to leave this job site for a moment in terms of the staff room. And point out, just real quick, another level that kind of shows some potential here to just how much this game can do. That's probably it. Because sometimes there's no gravity, or it can be turned off.
Oh, there's more than one game type, too?
Well, the game type is just speed run versus standard. So yeah, here, gravity is off. So I'm just kind of floating around, and if I collide with something, then it will inherit that inertia and go do its thing.
So how does bucket work?
It does not. So what I have to do is very carefully, without like sending too much stuff careening around, find the controls for the artificial gravity, at which point all this stuff in the air will fall onto the floor, wherever it may be. Airlock of some sort? Oh. Oh, that's nice and fancy, and will probably kill me. If I just, Okay, oh, so this, they simplified. I was thinking of a different level, where there's, like, this actual two-stage airlock instead of the furnace that you have to just, like, pile everything into and then just flush out, and then...
Oh, that's great.
After closing it, mop up again, because, as I'm sure it will demonstrate when I get to the right place, like, the blood effects will also hover in midair and do their whole thing. So yeah, like,
oh, cool.
Can I just actually... Yeah, I can get a... Oh, well, that's actually... Okay, I guess they altered this to be less evil than it used to be, so where's the level I was really looking for?
Oh, so maybe this is low gravity, not zero gravity.
But there was one, which it's probably down into like legacy mode ones, because I can understand taking this level out.
Oh, that's creaky chair. Sorry.
Maybe I'm just thinking different one, but like I remember there's one where, oh yeah, this is the one I was thinking of. Okay, this is the one that has just a very screw you start to it, if I recall. Maybe. Where somewhere in here, I gotta find the generator for the artificial gravity and switch that off, at which point all of this will fall to the ground and cause problems. And for now, it's just yeah, there you can see some of the blood just kind of moving independently, splattering on the walls. So
This is a more visually diverse game than I was expecting.
oh yeah, especially in some of the levels, like there's horrible plant monsters and oh okay, that's just, you know what, let me just make a run for it. Oh, well, here's the other. Oh god. Somewhere in there was the other thing I was looking for. Yeah, the. Oh, you can set up lights. This thing is for fixing bullet holes. So now if I can find one, can I just Can I just get down here, please? Maybe, please. Just shove my way in through this very not at all Event Horizon area.
Yeah, I appreciate how this is clearly Event Horizon, and then the previous one was clearly like Cyberdyne.
Yep.
I don't know what the second one was.
Yeah, somewhere in here is controls for the artificial gravity, at which point all this stuff falls onto the floor. Not what I want to hit. Yeah, just throw that on the floor. And here, I believe if I take a bucket, it will... Okay, they used to be a little bit more realistic about the physics on these. They seem to have altered it so you actually can use them with the gravity off, which is... I will not complain, honestly, because this level used to be just the worst. Because when you come in, it's all, like, you know, hovering in place, and that's all well and good. But, like, this whole hallway, when the gravity comes back on, is just going to be a mess. And if I just try to go up there, it'll be even worse.
Oh, just imagining cleaning that is nightmarish.
Oh, here's the airlock control. So, close that. Cycle that out, and repressurize. Okay, there we go. And yeah, sorry about that. I have to run this in just screen capture mode because it's not behaving. So yeah, you can see the chat just under the chat forever, for eternity. So here, yeah, this is what we have instead of the incinerator. It does do a very nice job of getting everything out of here. It's just, it's very messy.
Can you fire yourself out of the airlock and die?
I believe the answer to that is yes. Yep. Leaving more of a mess for my successor to clean up. Successor being me, as I now restart in, I think, the same place with just that extra corpse to deal with.
Oh, great.
And yeah, here's that other hallway I was saying, like, I don't want to go through there because that's just trouble waiting to happen. But somewhere in here, I swear, is actual controls for turning the gravity on. And also this very good elevator here, which just top or bottom floor. But yeah, once you have the gravity on, this elevator is the only way up and down.
The classic big return key.
Yep, and this elevator is also like really, really intense speed-wise. So like, getting buckets up to the top floor is kind of this ordeal. So is it this room? With the big, obvious, yeah, I think it might be in here. Oh, this, I think, is right here, in fact. So if I just move some of this garbage out of the way, yeah, I got controls here, and there we go. Standard gravity, and now I can get to cleaning.
That's very neat.
You can also use this elevator here to get up and down. Yeah, which is a bit of a mess. some things went down in here. But you'll see it is a little iffy. Oh, is that actually like caught because there's stuff in here? Go up there, come on. Yeah, it might be jammed because of some of the material getting caught in here in general. So, okay, let me just go back down. Yeah, you notice it's kind of a bumpy ride. So for the longest time before they changed it so that water will kind of stay in a bucket in zero gravity if you're careful enough, getting mop buckets between floors was like basically impossible. So the only thing I haven't shown off in here then is that their welding gun, which I think landed in here somewhere.
Was at the end of the hall, I think. Oh, right, the gravity changed, so.
Might be up there still. Well. Oh well, simple way to deal with that. It's so liberally playing this knowing I'm not going to save it too. Let me just turn that back off and go looking around.
This seems like it's in that genre of game of seeing how much you can make the player put up with.
Yeah. Well, again, the best part is the... Oh, is that it? Okay. There... Oh, right, I already brought it down, and that was actually persistent across having to reload. So now, if I can find some place where some bulleting has gone down in here, which...
Even though it doesn't share any verbs, it kind of reminds me of, like, Getting Over It.
It is a little similar in that sense, yeah. So I'm sure someone in here got shot at some point. And left some horrible, horrible scorch marks to deal with.
Can you laser the, like, energy fractures in the wall?
I might be able to, actually. That's a good thought. Let's see. Yep. Those count. So if moves very slowly and carefully, they will eventually fade out to nothing like that. Nice, clean bit of wall. But if I'm not careful with that, and I just like do that, fire happened, there's all these soot marks to deal with, and also I burned a fresh hole in the floor right there. I again have to very carefully first clean off, and then a couple like stacked on top of each other even, and then find where I accidentally carelessly tossed that too, and then can try again with the whole buffing out. Oh, and here is the last mechanic that I didn't show off. You can take these to the Punch-O-Matic and swipe everybody out of their last shift ever. Which, also when I'm done, I can log out myself.
This is neat.
Being very careful about my rating. And basically, if you get less than 100%, you get yelled at. So, yeah, that's a good taste of Viscera Cleanup Detail, which, by the way, is a multiplayer game, if you want to clean with a friend. Oh, I did... Okay, there's one more thing I should show off, actually, and that is just, like, finding me a nice bin and stacking up and just making the most horrible, horrible mess. Let me see where the dispenser is while I can still fly around.
I hope there's a VR version of this because we are truly not in the future.
I think there is,
actually. Oh, great. I am delighted by the thought of people having multi-$1,000 VR setups so that they can do VR janitor work with their friends.
Okay, there's buckets. Is there one of this level, or do you have to just do it by hand? Yeah, that's a horrible thought. But Yeah, the bin dispensers are neat because, like, honestly, the like physics challenge making a video game where you can have a big open top bin and stack things up in it, realistically filling the volume and like moving when you move the whole thing. That's non-trivial.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a pretty good game about it, but it also will realistically like have things slosh out, or if you like bang into a corner, have the whole thing tip. So, oh yeah, here's some bins. Cool. And this too will like throw garbage all over the floor sometimes if you're not careful. So let me just bring one of these downstairs with me real quick. Down, down, down. There we go. Okay, that's basically downstairs now. So now I can just go turn that gravity back. Find where it's gonna land. Along with other things. Okay. Oh, those are big, weird D12 crates. There's my nice little bin. Okay. So yeah, I could take this and just, you know, put some junk in there. I'll be very careful with it. There we go. If you kind of go center of mass first, they'll pretty much slide right in. This guy with his very wobbly head's mostly in there. I can kind of fine-tune that. There we go. Maybe throw in some, whatever this is, his head maybe? Yeah, among other things. Oops, okay, so that happened. No problem though, I just gotta straighten the bin back up, tossing whatever was inside it still out. Just load it up again from the top. Just being careful to hook those in there properly. There we go. You're mostly in there, and I think I can fit 3 if I just kind of straighten this fellow up and pack carefully. Yeah, that's totally stable. So now I can just grab the whole thing. Okay. Okay, you can't come, fine. But now I can just take this whole thing and walk over here. Hopefully not jostle it around too much. Set it down. A couple things fell out, oh well. Recycle that there, airlock, and you know, just get some stuff in there. This whole bin really can kind of go. It's pretty messed up. And I, of course, made a horrible mess of the floor doing all that, and have to, you know, find the mop buckets and clean all that up again. But yeah, that's the game, in a nutshell. And honestly, it's kind of hilarious how much experience you need playing this to not, like, immediately do that every single time you grab a bucket.
I can imagine.
Or just walk into them. Etc., etc. And of course, you always have to toss out your empty buckets, but thankfully you can, like, stack them very nicely, sometimes. So if you have a whole bunch of empties, you can just kind of, or rather bloody ones, you can kind of stack them up places like this, and then just grab the bottom bucket. Can we get that back in there? No. Okay. How about? Yeah, grab the bottom bucket, carry them all off at once like a pro, and not slip the last minute. But here, of course, in this special level, I can get rid of all the heavy chunks that way, but it's still going to be a bit wet in there. Anyway, yeah, Viscera clean the detail. I like it. I like it a lot. And it's one of those games, too, where it's almost a horror game. Because especially when you start, like, reading all the files that are scattered around and, like, learning what happened, there's a lot of like environmental storytelling. Like there's one where there's like all these reports about like plant like horrible monsters in the trees like killing everybody, and you find this like pile of six of little ID cards under this one tree, and look up and there's like six bodies hanging from in there,
Oh
and
wow.
it's in this like out of the way place, and it's like it gives you the feeling that you're like there might actually be a thing that can actually kill you in any given level, especially if you can die. So far, I have never actually seen one, but like, there's enough levels I haven't played that I'm not totally sure it doesn't happen anywhere. And it kind of like gives you this sense of foreboding in certain places that you're just gonna like get jumped by something hiding an event while you're cleaning up all these corpse bits. So yeah, it's
I
a
don't
good
have any
game, and I like
desire to play it, but it seems really cool.
it.